Welcome to the Stars in the Making with the mission to inspire and frame the future. The star is Giuseppe Baidoo, CEO and founder of the award-winning brand Gusto Snacks. Born and raised in Italy to Ghanaian parents in a small town called Reggio Emilia, the founder highlights, as a minority, we don't have many opportunities, such as high-paying jobs or building a career. Therefore, my only way was to try basketball or modeling. Unfortunately, I couldn't become a pro in either one. Fast forward, moved to UK and launched my very first company called O's Drinks. Did not make it. Giving myself a second chance, launched the second company called Snacks. I was one of the top startups in UK, from nothing to a 1.5 million, along with my co-founder. On this episode, I will share some of my marketing strategies and ways to survive when starting from the bottom. Remember, you can start late, lose it all, fail again and again, and yet still succeed. Please, let's welcome the star, Giuseppe Baidoo.
Hey, welcome guys to the Stars in the Making. I am so excited today. The founder of Gusto Snacks, all the way from UK, is here. So please, let's welcome. I hope you guys love the intro. I'm not gonna waste more time. I'm just gonna get into it. All right. Welcome. How you doing, man?
Hello, Ricardo. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. What about you?
I am doing awesome. Oh man, I saw your video trending everywhere. And I was like, I got to get with him on the podcast. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so proud of you. Everything you've been through to this day, very successful company today. Please, let's get into it. I want to hear more.
Thank you. Thank you. So, my name is Giuseppe Baidoo, and I'm the founder and CEO of Gusto Snacks. At Gusto Snacks, our mission is to reduce food waste. We are an ethical focused company. And what we do is that we work with farmers, save the fruit that they can't sell. So there is fruit out there that supermarkets don't buy because of aesthetic reasons, such as shape, size, color. Although these fruits are very good, they're still edible, but just because of the way they look like, they don't buy them, and so much of it go to waste. So we work with farmers, help them become more sustainable environmentally, but also, increasing their profitability. And we turn this fruit into air-dried fruit snacks. So basically, recycling, is recycling the fruits and bringing them back into the markets, and in a way that, is good for the planet and also healthy snacks for everybody, really.
Wow, that's awesome. So basically, you transform quote unquote the food from West to $1 million company.
100%, 100%.
Wow, that's so cool. First of all, I wanted to start from your viral video because that's what most people saw. You
Mhm.
talked about you were born in Italy, is that correct?
Yes, correct,
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Tell us more where you came from. I want to hear about your deep story before we even get into everything.
100%. So, I mean, I was born in Italy in a small city called Reggio Emilia, in the north of Italy. And, I went to school there, studied there. And during this time, I also started doing a bit of athletics. And that came to me because of my dad. My dad was a footballer. He used to play football, not professional level, but he loves football so much. So he used to go and run, and he would just grab me with him. Let's go and run. So that sort of like, sports mentality and, training, keeping fit, I was inspired by that. So I started doing athletics. And then when I was in school, some sort of like a basketball team came in my school, and and they were playing basketball. So I started training with them, and I left athletic, started basketball. And when I started basketball, I personally wasn't even good at basketball because at that time I was like 13 years old. So during that time, you can imagine playing sports, you have to start at a very young age because it helps you to be very skilled in terms of, and because I started so late, I wasn't great at all. And unfortunately, I was never playing. They would never let me play. This team would just keep me in the bench, bench players, man. Nobody really look at bench players. And I used to never play. But one time I met this coach. This coach came on board as an assistant coach, and he really changed the way I was thinking, like, the way I trained, and the way he did it is that he started being very tough for me in a sense that he would get upset with me easily, you
Mhm.
know. At times he would even insult me, and I didn't understand, like, what is this guy doing? I almost like stopped playing. And one time, like, I really retaliated, like, got very upset with him. Like, what are you doing? You're always upset with me. You are this, you're that. And he said, you know what? Put the ball down, go and sit down. And when the training finish, I'll come and talk to you. So I sat down there, watch all my teammates do training, finish. And then he came to me and he's like, listen, man, I see so much potential in you. Like, the guys you see here, I don't run after them like I do with you. I'm not tough with them you know why? Because none of them are as great as you. And you can imagine that time I was not even the best player in the team. But this guy just like saw something in me that was a different, like, he for me, he was talking to me like I was Michael Jordan, basically. And that conversation really changed my mindset. And he was like, just listen to me from now on, and I'm gonna make you great. And I said, yeah, okay. This guy changed my mindset. Like, he told me, listen, when we are training and we finish, you're not gonna go home. You're gonna stay here with me. We're gonna work on your fundamentals. So after training, everybody was going home. We will sit there and keep working. He will
Wow.
tell me in your days off, go outside, train alone in the basketball field, train alone, in the basketball courts. I would do that. And from that time, I would say that was around 2000, I would say 2008.
Yeah.
That summer of 2008 until the season started, I became a different player. Like, I went from the bottom of the bottom to going to playing semi-professional basketball.
Wow. That's
And
amazing.
that was because of crazy. That was because of this guy mindset. And that mindset is with me until this day, even being an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
because it taught me so much about, consistency, about working hard, and not just working out, but working beyond what other people, the other people may be working at a certain level. But for you to be great and for you to be the best, you have to work harder than everybody. So
That's
that
right.
mindset was in me. And till this day, that is the sort of mindset I have. So, as you see me doing so much going around,
Right, right,
it
right.
all started from that place, from doing sports. And again, during my time there, I also did modeling. I was doing basketball and
Yes,
modeling at
I
the time.
definitely wanted to get into that. Talk to us more about that modeling, and we jump into something else. Yes.
100%. So I mean, as I was playing basketball, I was also doing modeling, and the reason why is because in Italy, when I studied in when I started studying in Italy, I wanted to be an architect.
Mhm.
But the problem is that in Italy, unfortunately, I have to say this, it's not as much that it's not diverse like every other country, like the USA or the UK. Unfortunately, it's very tough for ethnic minorities there to make it really. So you don't have all of these opportunities, or even I've not even seen much of, again, at that time, I'm talking about 2002, around 2000 2008. There wasn't really, I haven't really seen many of, entrepreneurs, black people being entrepreneurs in Italy, to be honest. I've not even seen a black person owning a shop, to be honest. Like, even driving a bus. So
You talk
that was
about the bus. Um, I don't know why I'm laughing, but you talking about the bus in the video, your viral video. I wanted to know a little bit more about that. So
exactly.
at that time, you couldn't even see like a black person driving a bus.
Yeah, there isn't that sort of
Why is
thing. And
that?
I think it's because culture-wise, Italy is a bit behind, you know. You haven't had black people there or ethnic minority that have broken the barrier, have becoming entrepreneurs or millionaires or people that have reached a certain level like the USA or like the UK or in many other parts of the world. Unfortunately, Italy is very behind when it comes to, giving opportunity to black people. So even driving a bus,
The
driving a
minority in
train,
general, then. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very tough to see that sort of thing. And when I came to the UK and I saw black people working in banks, black people driving buses, I was like, yo, wait a minute, man. What is going on here? Like, this is the land of gold, like the land of opportunity. So for me, that really change my mindset like okay, if I'm here and I can see people actually doing this kind of jobs, that means I have a crazy opportunity down here. And going back to what I was saying, because in Italy there wasn't much of opportunities, I focused mainly sports because that is where I saw more of like ethnic minorities succeeding down there in terms of sports, in terms of modeling, and I wanted to get into these things to make it as well. So I started doing modeling in Milan, and down there I used to do modeling for different brands and magazine pictures, things like that, although I wasn't able to really get at the top level as much as I wanted. At some points I had to just call it a quit because I said it's time for me to move to the UK, because I wasn't really making it as big as I wanted. But basketball I was very good in terms of semi-pro, and I was aiming to play high level. Obviously we are all aiming for the NBA, you
Right.
know. But that was my mindset down there. And yeah, at some points, unfortunately, things got very rough in Italy in a sense that the economy was very bad. I wasn't getting much paid anymore in basketball as well. And my mom was like, listen, Giuseppe, you are still very young. I was in my 20s. She's like, listen, man, I've heard some friend of mine moving into the UK with their kids. There's a lot of opportunity in terms of studying. You get tuition fees paid by the government, so you can go to school, and at the same time, you can still aim to play basketball. So that is when I agreed to say, okay, I'm going to leave everything in Italy and then come to the UK and restart my life, really.
Wow. That's amazing. Uh, man, now I wanted to get into your very first business that you
Yeah.
highlight into your story. That's really where I started having some goosebumps. Please get into it. And what happened with your first business?
Yeah, so my first business was similar concept as the one I have now, as Gusto Snacks, and it was called Ooze Drinks. So the idea about that was again working with farmers, reducing food waste, and turning the fruits or vegetable that can't be sold into drinks,
Yeah,
into smoothies. Yeah,
I don't want to interrupt you. Let's go back, but way before you get into food,
yeah.
what is the kind of story behind go into, into this industry about the food industry?
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why I got into actually food and drinks is because when I was in Italy, I also used to do my national service. I did my national service in Italy. Instead of choosing to go to the military, I chose to work for the community. So not go to war and instead focus on working with the community, working with some charities, so serving the community really.
Yeah, you are helping.
And Exactly, exactly. So dedicate all my time to the community. And during that time, as I was working with the charities, we used to go to all the supermarkets and get the food that the supermarkets have not been able to sell. And we will also visit some farmers. And that is where I saw at first hand how much food is out there, and with the farmers, how much fruit that is not being sold, fruit that is good, and we will be giving them to families in need, people that are in need. So that is why I was inspired, and I'm like, okay, one day I want to actually, be able to have a business or a charity or something that does good to people and the planet, you
Mhm.
know. That is what actually made me go into food and drinks once I decided to start a business. But
Well,
the funny thing is that in the UK, when I was in the UK, before starting the business, I was looking for a job. I was looking for a job. I didn't even think about, okay, starting a business, to be honest. But everything really kicked off when I was in college. I was in college, and in college, I was doing product design. I wanted to be an architect, but math-wise, I wasn't great. So I said, okay, I'm still very creative, and I wanna, do something that, study something that will really channel my creativity into, a certain industry, or, or into something. And I decided to do product design. So in product design, for my last year project, I wanted to create something that was good for the planet. So that is when I started having this, I started remembering about my experience in Italy. And, I created this idea of, going to farmers to reduce food waste and turn them into drinks. My presentation was amazing, was so good. I'm not someone who is very good in talking. Again, now I talk a lot because of business, but
you, yes, you have. That's something very important. You have to know how to articulate yourself, your thoughts.
exactly.
Otherwise, you're not gonna make it.
Exactly. And
You can do it. You do it well.
oh, thank you so
Just
much. And
following your steps on social media, you do it well. Yeah,
thank
go
you so
ahead.
much. And, and because because I wasn't that great in talking at that time, I was an introvert person. I didn't talk much. But I was very good in presenting. Like, they say images talk more that louder than words. So I was so great in presenting, less words. As soon as you see my presentation, you understand, okay, this guy is not playing games. So last year presentation, I did this project about reducing food waste and turning them into drinks. And my presentation was on the wall. So somebody walks in, I think people just invited, people from the industry, and the guy was like, "Hey, who did this?" And the teachers pointed at me, and he came to me and he's like, "I love this work you are doing, man. Have you started, like, it looks like a proper business. Do you want to, have you started the business?" I said, "No, man, I'm looking for a job. Do you have a job for me?" And he's like, "No, no, no, no." He's like, "No, no, no, wait. I'm an entrepreneur, and I would love for us to, work on this and get you to start this." So that is when he took me under his wings, and everything started from there, really.
Wow, that's really amazing. So that's when you started uh
The drink business.
the drink business. What is the name
Yeah.
again?
Who's drinks?
Who's Drinks. Okay.
Yeah,
And what
yeah.
happened?
And I learned so much with O's Rings. I raised like 30,000 pounds in kickstarting the business. But with O's Rings, unfortunately, I had also other two business partners at the time. They were my classmates, very good friends, and because I saw that as an opportunity for us to work together, for all of us to learn as well. But as the business was running, unfortunately, things got very bad between us, founders, fighting with each other. I felt like at the time I was dedicating so much of all my time to it. And unfortunately, I thought they were not being as committed as I was. So, I decided to, at some point, stop working with them and work on my own. And unfortunately, in 2018, I had to close it down because the products was having 3 months shelf life on the products, but the supermarkets wanted more. And I have spent so much money in building this, the products, and my money ran out. My business partners, everything turned so bad with them, and and I was by myself. I didn't have money anymore. And at some point, I said, you know what? This is not gonna work, man. I've spent so much time, 3 to 4 years on this, and I was at the bottom at some point. Things were not moving, and I just decided to close it down. And that was the worst time in my life, to be honest. In a sense that it hit hard because it made me think about, you were doing modeling, it didn't work. You were playing basketball, it didn't work.
Three
Now you
things.
started exactly, you started
Oh
a
my
business,
goodness.
it
Yeah.
didn't work, man. So man, you are a failure.
And I think, this is very important. And I wanted to see what is your take on this. There is, I think, a lot of people out there that they really don't understand the power of, I would say, quote unquote, failing, which is actually, I always say, learning. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
what is your take on this? What did you learn from these three attempts of, getting something to succeed and you didn't make it at the time? What is the learning?
So I was, mhm. Yeah, I would say, and I'm gonna be very honest, at that time when I failed my business, I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, when am I going to even get something done for myself? I was feeling I was very into depression that time. It was very tough for me. But the learning from me is that, at that time I realized that, look, every time I failed something, I actually took something with me, you know. Every new thing that I started, it was a learning curve. And that learning curve made me even better than before, you know. And when I was very down, my sister was, was very, I mean, she's always been very supportive, and she was like, hey man, like, don't be so, because she saw me very down, I wasn't speaking to anybody much, I was very quiet. So she called me one day, he's like, Giuseppe, man, like, you can't be like this, we are Christians, and God has brought us so far. God has brought you so far, and just realize that if He has done it, He can do it again. And that conversation just made me realize that, at the end of the day, I have to even be grateful to have been able to start even a business. Not everybody does it. Not
That's
everybody goes and raise,
that's really
30,000 pounds.
powerful. So she said, God has brought us so far to give
So
up now.
exactly. And you have come so far for you to just say, hey, that's it, is the end of everything. You can't just say that. Even if something like that has happened, you are a different person. Like, you have grown so much, all the experience have not just disappeared just like that. And that gave me a lot of thinking. That made me think a lot. Although I was going through, all of this emotional, situation of, oh, I've lost this, I failed this. It made me understand that, you know what, actually, I can still do something, with this. And she was even telling me, listen, you can even go around and teach people how to start a business. You have failed, and you can teach people how not to fail like you did. You can tell people how to, navigate the food industry, and how not to make your same mistakes. And I said, actually, this is very true. I am an expert in this. So that gave me a different, mindset, a different, I was on fire again, like, okay, now let's get this going. And I didn't jump straight up into starting a different business. Instead, I used like a month to work with different startups, helping them with their branding, because I do product design, so I'm very good in designing products. And I have, and with that, I was also giving advice as entrepreneur. as an ex-entrepreneur at that time.
Wow.
Um, exactly. So that is, taking the time to just, while I'm figuring things out, what is the next step? I was helping other people. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, this is such an amazing story, so inspiring. Uh,
So
and
much.
now let's go to your company. So now your company worth your new company worth 1.2 million.
Yes. Yes.
Let's talk about it. This is so
Ah,
important. I want to talk about the Gusto snack. I did not test it yet, just by seeing the video, how people appreciate, what you do, the Gusto snacks. It's so amazing. This is the main reason I was like, he gotta be here. Please, let's get into it.
Thank you so much. So after I spent a bit of, a month working with, different startups and helping people out, at some point I said, you know what? The entrepreneur spirit is just calling me right now. I have to get back and do something. And I said, let's go for round two. But this time, round two is going to be different. I have the experience. I've failed before. I know what to do right now. I know which mistakes I don't have to do. You know, I know exactly which people I have to have around me because I had before business partners that unfortunately we were all not that experts in the industry. But at the same time, when I had the issue with my business partner, I also did a check on myself. I said, okay, it's not just their fault. Me too. What is it about me that I'm not good at? You know what I mean? That didn't get us to be united and work well, So I understood that as a business owner, I'm good in design, I'm good in the vision, I'm good in presenting, I'm good with marketing. But when it comes to finance and and sales, I'm not that great. So I understood my strengths and I said, I need somebody who is good in these things. I can't do it alone. And so again, just because of my bad experience with people, I didn't allow that one to, change my mindset of working with somebody else. I understood I still need somebody with me in the journey and somebody who can, where we can complement our skills.
Hmm.
So yes.
I don't want to interrupt you. You are touching to some points that are very crucial. You're talking about not just checking others, but you also have to check yourself. Because
Absolutely.
I think because of our ego, it's really hard most times for us to look into ourselves, seeing our fault as
Absolutely.
well. So in your point, what you just said, if someone want to have a business partner, right?
Mhm.
What would be your take on it? What are the
Absolutely. So,
qualities that they should have? And
mhm.
what is the one thing that you also should check on yourself?
I mean, one thing that I've learned in my journey is that first of all, you can't do everything on your own. Yes, there is founders out there that are, by themselves. They are doing great things. That's fine.
It's hard.
But it's hard. It's difficult.
Mm.
And you can't just be putting 20% of your energy in many things and none of them become 100%. You know what I mean? None of them grow the potential that they have to be. So I always think that you always have to have somebody who is also very good in something,
Yeah.
and you pick one side of the business that you are very good at,
Yes.
and you can both work 100% on one, and the other person will work 100% on the other thing, and that will make it 200%. You know what I mean?
Awesome. That's really important because I think going thinking that you're gonna do everything 100%, it's a lie. You're gonna be the lesser version of everything. And then
Absolutely,
you ended
yes.
up getting burned out and all that stuff. But anyways,
Indeed,
go for
indeed.
it, please. I love what
Yeah,
we're going.
so sorry. So when I did a check on myself, understood, where I am at the time, I was like, okay, round two is really going to be different. And that same time, it's just funny how God works in crazy ways. My friend that I used to go to school with and I used to work in the warehouse with, he contacted me from nowhere. It's like, hey Giuseppe, how are you doing? I've seen you online doing some amazing things, you know. I know you are running this drink business and you are doing amazing. And I want to learn from you. And I'm like, what is this random call? And he's like, look, I've had a situationship with my partner at the time, and I'm very depressed. And I said, listen, brother, if you are looking to if you are looking for counseling here, you are on the right side because I've closed my business long time ago. So if you are looking to get better with the business, unfortunately, there's no business here. And it's like, wow, but you know, I saw you doing so well online. I said, listen, it was tough. I've closed, I was in depression myself, you know. But I said, you know what? I've started working on something right now. So, you know, and I was asking him, so what do you do now? And he said, I work in sales. I work for a company in sales, you know, I sell stuff. And he was so good in it. And I said, wow, this is the person I need in my business. I need somebody who's very good in numbers, in sales, you know, that can go out there, can speak, can sell the stuff. And he, you know, when I met him and we had the chat, I realized that, okay, we have so much in common. You know, first of all, he has my same background. He's Italian Ghanaian. We work in the warehouse together. So I saw how hard this guy was working. You know, we were doing a tough job in the warehouse and we were working there doing night shifts while we were studying in the day.
Wow.
And exactly. So I saw the way this person, the drive he had, you know, and how resilient he was as well. He also came to the UK, started from zero. So I said, man, we completely match. So I said, okay, let's get this going. And one thing I did is that because I was the designer and I've designed everything in terms of the packaging at that time of the next product, I explained a bit of what I wanted to do, you know, in terms of Gusto. And I asked him at the time we didn't even have a name. But I wanted him really to feel part of the business. Like I wanted really to see somebody that, you know, felt like me, the same emotion I felt for this business, you know, that we're about to do. So I told him, hey, how would you name the company? And he's like, give me a few days, you know. Then he came back and he's like, Gusto. And I'm like, why Gusto? And he's like, oh, you know, we are saving fruits from going to waste. So Gusto means taste in Italian and it's just encouraging people to taste the products. And I'm like, this is a good one. And I just went with it. But the reason why I did that is because I wanted him really to, you know, feel part of the business. When he takes the packaging, he sees Gusto, he's like, yes, I named it, you know, and it worked. My business partner is the best business partner I ever, you know, and I'm glad that I gave him a chance to join me because he goes crazy. He can sell stones to anybody. So he was just selling the business, selling every product, you know, and that is how we, you know, we are here now, really.
Oh, oh man, this is amazing. I love your story. And there is something that you highlight into your story that what is your vision for the company, for the Gusto
Mhm.
Snacks?
I mean, for Gusto, we want to definitely be, you know, the number one ethical or sustainable brand, healthy snack brand in the UK. You know, one day that is our aim, and at the same time, we also want to be able to, you know, do some good to the planet, to people, you know, and you know, be transparent as a company, not just profits, but also, you know, use what we are doing to do some good to, you know, to people in our planet. And you know, the way we are going right now with it, we are very small as a company, but at the same time, we're doing things in a way that we're building the foundation very well, you know. When it comes to reducing food waste, especially, it's tough to do that. But I can see, for example, so many companies making claims about, oh yeah, we have saved so much, we have done this, we have done that. But when you go and look at it, you know, there isn't much of the work they are doing out there. For us, we have started very small, but at the same time, we are very intentional about how we are reducing food waste, who we work with, how we are communicating with farmers, what sort of fruits we are saving. And all of this, we are doing it because one day when it's time for us to really be big, all the people that will join will have the same value that we have, so definitely one day become one of the leading companies in the world, and but we doing this in a way, starting from the ground and building the foundation, on the right steps, really.
Yeah, because I was reading that Gusto Snacks now is one of the best startups in UK
Yeah,
now.
top 100. Yeah, top 100 startup in the UK.
He's on top. Man, congratulations on that.
Thank you
That's
so
really
much.
big. I was reading some newspapers. I went on Google and stuff, going deep into that. Oh man, you
Yeah.
doing great things. You're
Thank you.
really doing great things. I'm so
I'm not.
inspired.
Thank you so much. And when the reason why we're one of the top 100 companies, because when we started, me and my business partner Claudio, we started in our kitchen initially, just testing, few things. We spoke with over 300 people. And the reason why we have such an amazing product is because we didn't just create the product by tasting it ourselves. We spent time so much about, it was almost like 2 years, almost 3 years to test the product around, because we were creating all of these fruits crepes with different flavors, with chocolates, passion fruit, mango, and we had all of these crazy flavors, coconuts, and all of this stuff that were not really in the markets yet. You know, chili, peanuts, apple crisps with chili, peanuts, all of these things. And it was so different that at times we will meet some people and they will spit it because they're like, what the hell is this?
What is that?
Dri-
Right.
Dried fruits with peanut, dried fruit with chili. But for us, people spitting our snacks. For me, I loved it. Why? People will say, but why? That's a negative thing. Well, when it comes to research, you want to get the people that don't like your products yet, because then you can take the feedback, go back, get it right, and go back to them again. So it's not about speaking with family members who are going to be nice with you. Oh, yeah, the product is nice, but then it's not really nice. So we we spoke with people we didn't know, till this day, some of them are still our customers. They buy products from us because we went back to them always and, got them to taste the products and give us their honest feedback. And that is what made us, one of the best dry snack companies in the UK.
Wow. Man, that's so spot on. Not just going to your family members, to your friends, so they can lie to you. This is awesome, but it's actually not. That's very important.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
yes. So what is your advice into someone who is fighting out there? You know, want to be an entrepreneur, and let's talk about like the pros and cons into this. What is
Mhm.
your one advice that you wanted to send out there?
First of all, you have to be crazy enough with yourself that you believe in yourself so much that people will think you are crazy. Like, just be crazy about it, that hey, I'm going into this thing and I will be the next, you know, the best person I can ever be of myself in this journey. Like, you have to be crazy enough for you to make it work. And that is always what I tell people. And two, as you being crazy, also prepare yourself to fail at it, because, you know, you can't just expect everything to be smooth. Nothing is smooth. Everything we do in this world, we have one thing we all have in common that I say is that everybody has failed once in something. Once, twice, three times, four times. We have all failed in something. So don't expect the journey to be smooth. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you will have to deal with, struggles. You will have to deal with upside downs. No matter how much you prepare yourself, the markets, don't think that you are going to prepare the markets. The markets run on its own, you know, and you as the market market is shaping you, you are also building yourself around it, you know. And being an entrepreneur is not easy, you know, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's, you know, don't think you're gonna be an entrepreneur and it's gonna happen in a day. Um, you know, you have to understand that it's a long-term game, and in order to be successful at it, you know, you will have to be great at falling down and standing back up. That is where the big lesson, the tough thing is. You know, many of the people fall down and they stay there, you know. And I've spoken with so many entrepreneurs out there, and I realized that that is what makes, you know, makes the difference. When you get knocked out, can you get can you get back up? That is the main thing.
That's so, so true. Oh man, this is amazing. What an advice. Even Shams is listening to it, is like, oh damn, that's
Absolutely. If
oh,
you get punched, you know, it's like if you get punched, can you get back up for another one, you know? Because it keeps
that,
coming, man. You
that's
know?
so true. And another last thing, what is your marketing strategy? Because you are good at
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much.
it.
So for me is, you know, as especially in the food industry, you know, as a brand, you have to get noticed. Like, you know, you as a new brand, you don't have the budget that the big companies have. You know, the big companies are making so much noise. They are everywhere. They have money to do everything. They have money. They have people, you know. And as a small startup that we are coming up now, you know, we don't have many people that work for us. The budgets, the money we have is to run the business. We can't just, you know, take out, you know, I've heard the Super Bowl is coming out, and some of, you know, some of the big brand, they are splashing 8 million for 30 seconds of adverts. We don't have that money, you know. So for me as the CEO, I'm like, okay, we have to do things very differently. We have to do things in a way that we save money, but at the same time, you know, the impact will be crazy. So my strategy here is unconventional marketing strategies, which is guerrilla marketing, whereby, you know, you go out there
What do you mean
and
by
you do.
that? Guerrilla
So
marketing?
guerrilla marketing is doing marketing campaigns that are different from the normal marketing campaign. Things that you do that people will be like, yo, what is this? You know, you get people attention. And I started my first marketing campaign we did was when we launched in a company called Selfridges. Is this high-end retailer, high street retailer, very known in the UK. And when we were launching our product there, I'm like, man, we don't have money here. We haven't even raised investments yet. We were bootstrapping. So we didn't have investment yet. So it was everything from our pocket. And I said, how can I make our launch very successful, whereby people are going to hear from us, but I'm not just going to go on social media to pay for ads and, you know, and all of those things. How can I do this, you know, with limited budget, but at the same time have a massive organic reach? So I saw some cardboards online, you know, and I was like, okay, maybe we can use this and lift up some cardboards with something written on it, you know, to make some noise. So I bought the cardboard, and on top of it, I'm like, okay, since we don't have a big budget, let's play around with it. So on one cardboard, I wrote, our marketing budget is low as the calories in our snacks, because this store, a lot of people who are health conscious consumers go there. So I wanted to play with those two things, you know, low marketing budget, but it's low as the calories in our snacks. We went to stand in front of the shops, holding the cardboard, and boom, we saw people taking videos of us, taking pictures, some people laughing, and we saw so much crowd coming in front of us. And we said, okay, let's post it on social media. We posted it, and the thing exploded. 10,000 likes within, I think, a week, 10,000 likes. It went absolutely crazy. And we had so many people coming on our website and buying our snacks. In the shop, Selfridges, the snacks sold out. I think they ordered initially 700 units of snacks. The first week, it was all gone, and they came back straight away to order more. And
Wow.
that is when I realized that, man, okay, I think I got something going on here, you know. And I said, this is going to be the strategy for our company. So
Wow.
that is what really sets the foundation for where we are now, really.
That's amazing. That's so amazing, man. And we just have a few minutes on the clock now. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to end with your viral, um, other viral video that I saw. Man, you went viral because a big marketing company copied your style of how you make
Yeah,
good
yeah,
snacks.
yeah,
Talk to us
yeah.
about it.
So we wanted to launch into a supermarket in the UK, yeah, and they were acting like they were interested in our product. We met them, we spoke with them. They said they loved the brand. They took samples, the first samples. Then they came back. They said they have lost it. They didn't, it is all they were playing around. We went again, gave them another samples of snacks. We had meeting, we're gonna launch. And then at some point they came back saying, "Oh, we have decided to make our own version of your product." I said, "What?" We have and note this, we have spoken with our investors before we raised our investment. We told our investors that this supermarket was interested in us. So many investors invested because of this. And then now I have to go back as the CEO of the company and tell the investors this is what has happened. They copied our products instead of working with us, you know? All our investors were very disappointed. And I said, no, man, I can't just leave this the way it is. I have to do something about it. So I said, fine, since we do, unconventional marketing, guerrilla marketing, let's get at it. So most of the time when this company, because this company does, I've done it to many startups in the UK, they copy products and nobody does nothing. I said, I'm going to use this as a marketing advantage, use this as an opportunity to reach out to the crowd.
It's very
So
smart.
absolutely, I took my cardboard and I wrote on it, snacks so yummy, they copied in a hurry, bought some thief clothes. If you play The Sims, if you have ever played The Sims, there is a thief in the game with some black and white clothes with
That's correct.
with the cover.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I do remember.
I saw that online. I said, this is absolutely great. I dressed up. My wife took the camera. We went in front of many of their supermarkets across London. So the idea was like I will buy their copy products, get my own product, and get their customers to taste which one is the best. So I interviewed over 200 people. 200 of them said yes, they love my product, and only two people said they like the Holland and Barrett. Again, I repeat, I said their name because it's online. They said they like the Holland and Barrett snack. I said, cool. From there, I came in online and I said, okay, it's time for me to share it online because I want more people to join this thing. Because my aim was not to fight with them. I can never fight with them. My aim was to prove a point that the copy version is never the best. The original is always the best.
Oh,
So let's give it to the crowd.
I love that. I love that.
I posted it, and oh my goodness, the minute 2 minutes into posting the image of me standing in front of the shop dressed like a thief, the I think in 2 minutes I've already hit 1,000 likes on LinkedIn. On now, I think the post is like 60,000 likes so far, and the amazing opportunities that have come I think I've never seen so much opportunities in my life since I've started this business.
Wow.
So many stores, coming to me, so many people saying, hey, I want your products. And our website was shut down. We sold out. We had to produce again, bring more snacks. It's been unbelievable these 2 weeks,
Wow.
and I spent probably just, I would say, $5 in doing this campaign, and I've achieved more than big
You would
budget
expect.
companies do.
That's right. Oh man, thank you so much for joining us in Stars in the Making. You are such an inspiration here from the Stars in the Making. You can come anytime you wish. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you sharing this amazing story, and I hope helps millions out there and upcoming stars, not just that, and everybody pretty much. So thank you
Indeed.
so much, brother, for joining us. And we are with Gusto Snacks, and I hope we get it in USA pretty soon. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes. It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank you
amazing
so much.
opportunities, and it's coming indeed.
We appreciate you. All right, Stars in the Making. This was an amazing episode, and I hope you guys love it. Please take the lesson from this story. He went through a lot of bullet points, which is, I hope this was really helpful for you guys.